Hi, I'm Ewell Simone. I'm Italian. My hometown is Napoli, and I've lived in Saudi Arabia for almost 6 years, since 2016. And over 25 years I've lived abroad, 15 in the Middle East. In 2015, my son and I decided to leave Egypt, where I used to live and work. And the two criteria to look for a new country was rugby and desert. And Misk offered me a job here, and my son was accepted in the national team of rugby in Saudi. And so we decided to come here. Also, I wanted to come here because at the time, in 2016, it was a country that you couldn't visit as a tourist, where now you can come as a tourist. And I was really curious to come, not just see the desert, but also look at the culture here. And I always said Saudi is not a place I would go because women can drive, and I'm a driver, but I did come and I'm happy I did it. Before I came to Saudi Arabia, I'm not sure what I expected, but I thought not to be allowed to drive was an easy thing. It wasn't. But I think it really hit me when I went, the first time I went to a gym, because I do extreme sports, and normally I train with men. And when I went to the gym, it was all ladies, and it was a kickboxing gym. And I wanted to fight with everybody, and nobody wanted to pair with me. And that's when it hit me, I was in Saudi Arabia. Before I came to Saudi, I checked if there was a motorsport or if there was motocross. Motocross is one of the things I do. I checked some videos and there was a motocross track. And when I arrived here, it wasn't functioning. They had closed it down. And then the year later, I met with people from ASO. They were bringing the Dakar here. I was training in another country to do the Dakar. And when Dakar came here, I thought, okay, now I have to follow my dream. I was so impressed of Riyadh's traffic, buildings. The hotel was amazing, and I felt like I was in New York almost. Normally, I'm open-minded, so if I live in a new country, I have expectations of my home city. I think this place has been one of the most challenging, because in the beginning, in 2016, it was a bit different from now. And so to make friends and to communicate and have a more active social life, it was a bit more challenging than now. Saudi changed so fast in these years, and in a positive way. I have traveled a lot in Saudi Arabia. My first trip was on my motorbike. I went from Riyadh to Unaiza, from Unaiza to Hail, from Hail to Alula and Tabuk, Luj, Jeddah, and back to Riyadh, all on my motorbike. I've been everywhere at the lake, at the south, towards Qadiyah. It's beautiful desert there, massive dunes with a lake in the middle. I think it's called Karnakade Lake. And then there is the dunes towards the Mam, which are called the Red Sand. And I saw amazing places. My favorite one is Alula. The desert there is just stunning, it's too beautiful. I went diving at the Red Sea, and I think Saudi Arabia has such a potential for amazing tourism, as in connected with sports. Like, you can dive, you can go to the desert, I didn't go yet to the bottom, like to the Farasan Island, but that's my next trip on my motorbike. I visited a lot of historical sites in the kingdom on my motorbike. I've been to Ewell to see the art rocks, and I've seen art rocks here also in close to Riyadh. I saw a lot of places here, and they're really, really beautiful. Riyadh is the capital of Saudi Arabia, and I believe it's a really beautiful city. There are many areas which are super modern, and some are from the heritage, let's say. And I love living here. You can find anything you need, or you can just chill at home. It depends from how you want to spend your day, but there is everything. In 2016, when I came to Saudi Arabia, at the immigration, they asked me, they looked on my visa, you're a teacher. And they said, what do you teach? And I said, sport. And the guy laughed. And I thought, okay, that's funny. And this thing has been going on for the first 6 months. Like, everybody was laughing when I was telling them I teach sport or extreme sports. And then it clicked in my mind why they were laughing, because actually for women and for sports, there wasn't so much at the time. And the development in the country has been so fast and amazing. The first event that really, really impressed me was Formula E. Not just because of the Formula E itself, but then they had this big concert with David Guetta, which is one of my favorite DJs. And it was a mixed event, and there was girls dancing and locals mixing together. And that was my first experience of this fast, positive change in the country. I strongly believe in women empowerment, and I think that this is something that Saudi Arabia has embraced. Personally, I think women empowerment can be done through motorsport, and I think if women can be economically independent, they can support themselves and the family, and so the income in the family is higher, and there is more wealth brought to a country. In 2018, the women were allowed to drive. The first movie centers, cinemas were opened. In a few years, the development has been immense and very fast and positive. At the beginning, when I reached Saudi, it was a bit challenging to meet new people because everything was done on WhatsApp groups. But again, through motorsport and through my passion for motorbike, I've met some people that were riding, and that opened the doors to meet so many people. My typical day is a kind of crazy day. So I have Shiro days and school days. School days, I'm the director of sport in a school here in Riyadh. I try to be a role model to my students and teach them how to have passion in life, whatever it is, follow their dreams. And my Shiro days, which is about my team, and they are also it needs a lot of commitment, and we do training, and then I organize things for the team, for the ladies. We prepare for competition, or we have meetings, or we are in the desert the majority of the time. When the car came here, I worked with the car, and it was a dream in my closet to take part in the car. I was training in my country previously, In one of my trips to Alula in the car, I was trying to brainstorm what could be the most powerful name for this team, because they're going to do something extraordinary and it needed a strong name. And I thought She Hero, that would be the perfect name for them. And so the idea of Shiro came. Unfortunately, at the same time, also COVID came. So the restrictions started in the country and that slowed down the project a little bit. But we started and now finally I have the perfect team. When I go on holiday, normally I go back to Italy or to New Zealand. What I do miss Saudi Arabia, and I think what I miss is the kindness of the people here and definitely the desert. When I go home, maybe not so much lately, but in the very beginning, everybody was asking me about Saudi Arabia and do they have buildings in the city? Is there roads? And I was like, it was like very funny questions because actually I think they imagined the country to be just desert. And I think a lot of people want to come and visit now. And all my friends said after, when it's possible, they will come and see because always I have amazing stories about this place. This year I started working with the King's College Riyadh. It was challenging in the beginning because we started with online and just drops in. Now finally schools are open again. For me, working there is like my part of paradise where I can just relax and be with the kids who take a lot of energy from us, but they also give so much as in positive energy. And they're always so keen to learn and to practice new sports. Normally, I'm a role model to them, and they all know I'm a racer and I do parkour, and they always want to know more about vehicles and parkour. These are the two loves they have. What I love the most about King's College is that they support my racing very much, and they really believe in what I do. And with the students, we have made a project about electric vehicles, which connects us to the 2030 vision and with the Lula projects and NEOM. And the children have come with most incredible inventions. And the funniest thing is that they all expect the rest of the world to be electrical and to have mobility cities when they're older, that they can drive. And some of them said, I have a Tesla at home. And I'm like, really? How you charge it? No, it's just parked. As soon as the chargers will come, we will be the first family to drive a Tesla in Riyadh. And this is, for me, is just mind-blowing. The fact that 4 years old to know about electric vehicles and Teslas. When I feel that I need extra energy that I haven't already taken from the desert and my motorbike, I will go to my hub because I'm surrounded by many motorcycles and SSV vehicles, and just being there, looking at the motorcycles, it gives me happiness, and to touch them or to put them on and hear the sound of the engine. And very often they have new ones and bigger ones or smaller ones. And it's just for me like paradise to be there. And we meet there with my friends so that we can have a look at the engines and the mechanicals of the motorbikes, and not just put them on and just use the accelerator, but actually looking at the new models or just looking at the CCs, and it's a place that brings us together, and we're all very happy to go there. There is a lounge there where we can be there playing billiard, drink coffee, and just put all our thoughts together and chat about how was our day and what we're going to do later or tomorrow or over the weekend, talking about our training. Today I went to the desert with my friends, with Saja, Halam and Abi, and we had fantastic time. We used the 4x4 car and the SSV, and we were cresting dunes, and we were doing some donuts and some drift in the sand for fun, and we had some speed. I think we had a lot of fun, and as soon as we saw the desert, everybody was just like smiling and happy and relaxed immediately at the first sight of the first sand of the first dune. We had smiles from ear to ear. We drove a bit deep in the desert. We wanted to see the big dune. We call it MOM, which doesn't mean mom, it means Mountain of Madness, because on Fridays there is hundreds and hundreds of cars going up and down. And we normally do that on Fridays afternoon. We like to go there and look at all the very talented drivers here in Saudi. Normally they are men, and we are the only girls there, which is the plan that we have for tomorrow. The weather was amazing, and the sunset was just stunning. I love to play in the sun. I love dunes, and so we were trying to do some good drift and to make the sand just fly everywhere on us, and I think we achieved all that. After a long day at work, what really gives me more energy, even though it's the end of the day, is to meet with my friends and cook some delicious Italian food that then we can share together. And just talk about our lives, our day, and past and future, and just with something delicious that we have cooked. Sometimes when I come home and I'm really, really tired, or the day was really too long, but I still want to eat something amazing and tasty, I just call my friend Davide. He's Italian, he lives almost next door to me, and I ask him if he can cook fish for me, which is one of my favorite dishes. He's a great friend and a great cook. One of my other passions is cooking and food. I love Italian food, and I definitely love also Saudi food. I love to cook pasta and to invite people over, and every time to offer a new recipe. Of course, if you come to my house, you can eat it's real Italian food. And I've tried in the desert, in Uneza, amazing kapsa. Like, I'm in love with kapsa haji, that's my favorite one. Living in Saudi Arabia for me is sharing my passion with children, with Saudi ladies, in the desert. I love the culture here, and I think I can find a lot of similarities with the Italian culture. We have a strong feeling about family. I learned a lot in Saudi Arabia. But one of the biggest lessons I've learned here is that if you follow your dream, it is possible to achieve it, and this country is a country of opportunities. Vorrei mandare un messaggio alla mia famiglia in Italia e ai miei amici. Venitemi a trovare in Arabia Saudita, è un posto bellissimo, c'è un deserto spettacolare, ci sono io e potete fare qualsiasi attività di musica, di cultura, di turismo, c'è il mare, c'è il deserto, c'è lo shopping, è un posto sicuro e secondo me vale assolutamente la pena di venire qui a visitarlo, adesso che si può.